Hello and welcome to this week's video from AddvanceMaths. Today we're going to be looking at differentiation, a really important topic in A-level maths or in IB, standard level or higher level maths. So what is differentiation? Differentiation is going from an equation like this, and you do a little bit of a process to it, and then you get this, dy over dx equals something new. Now this here, this means the gradient. So this is like an equation for the gradient of the graph. Okay, so why do we do this? Well, differentiation finds an equation for the gradient of a function. So you can find how steep a curve is at a point, or how fast it is going up or going down, increasing or decreasing. Again, this is really important in science, in economics, in statistics, and in computing. Lots and lots of people use differentiation every day around the world in their jobs. Okay, so let's look at some examples. So if you've got y equals a number, then you differentiate this to just be dy over dx is 0. Because it's a number, then it's not going up or down, it's just staying the same as here, 5. So it's not going up or down, it's the gradient of this function is 0. And it's same with y equals 7, the gradient would still be 0. If it's y equals a number times x, then that's different. Then this is dy over dx becomes that number. So 6x becomes 6. If it was y equals minus 57x, then it will just be minus 57 you change it to. Okay? Now, if you've got a power of x, y equals x to the power something, then you bring the power down and then you take one off the power. Let's look at that again. If you start with y equals x to the power n, then you change it to the power comes down, nx, and you take one off the power, n minus 1. This is a really important rule, and you should make a note of this. You will have to remember this for all differentiation questions. Okay. Again, let's look at some more examples. If it's y equals 7 plus x, well, the 7 is just a number. That disappears, that becomes 0. If it's plus 1x, then that's a number times x. That's 1 times x, which just becomes 1. And so it's dy over dx equals 1. If it's y equals 8x plus 2, then the 2 is just a number that disappears, and it's 8 times x, it's dy over dx equals 8. Now if it's y equals 3x to the power 4, this is a power, and the rule is the power comes down, and it's 3 times 4, which is 12, and you take one off the power, which is x to the power 3. And this is the answer here. Let's do an exam question. Find the gradient of the equation y equals x to the power 3 minus 5x plus 1 at the point where x equals 2. So we start with the equation as normal. Now we differentiate it. The x cubed becomes 3x squared, the minus 5x becomes minus 5, and the 1, it's just a number, disappears. Now it says where the point is x equals 2. So we substitute in x equals 2. Like this. We work that out on our calculator and we get 7. So the gradient of the graph at this point is 7. Let's do a slightly harder case. Again, so this is for when it's either roots or it's divided by x. So whenever you got this, you have to make it into a power of x first. So y equals square root of x is the same as x to the power half. That's the power rules you should know from earlier on in school. The half comes down, it becomes half times x, and you take one off the power. A half minus 1 is minus a half. You can then rewrite this like this if you know your algebra. Now, if you got y equals 1 divided by x to the power 4, well, that's the same as x to the power minus 4, because when you got divide, it's the same as a negative power. Again, you should know this from your algebra. You differentiate, the minus 4 comes down, and you take one off, it becomes minus 4x to the power minus 5, which is the same as minus 4 over x to the power 5. Now we should always remember with these, make the equation into a power form first, and then you can differentiate it. Don't try to differentiate it when it looks like a square root of x, and don't try to differentiate it when it's a 1 divided by an x. It doesn't work, you have to make it into a power first. Okay? Right, here's some practice for you. The answers will be on the next page in a few seconds, so have you got these and pause the video now. Press play when you're ready to see the answers. You ready? Answers in 3, 2, 1. Here's the differentiated equation, and if you put x equals 4 in, you get these numbers here. And that is this week's video from Advanced Maths. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and good luck with your exams.